first technique in the Kenpo Karate for Christ 4th green curriculum is glancing spear. Glancing spear is going to be off of a wrist grab, and you want to think of this as the brother-sister technique to a technique we did back in blue, gripping talon. Gripping talon was a left direct wrist grab, so they had your right wrist, right? We stepped underneath, kind of pinning the arms, turning. There was this kind of period there, a quick second where our arms were crossed, and there our hand was pinned as you reached and grabbed the other arm. Now we're looking at the opposite side of that. It's a right direct wrist grab. And in much the same way, we're going to have that pin from underneath, but now we'll be stepping the other way. And in fact, instead of in advance on this one, glancing spear steps back. There's a retreat. So it's very much like if you put them side by side, you see, oh, okay, one advances, one retreats. And it's that whole Kenpo idea of really exploring the motion in every direction you can take it with a particular attack. So here we have what's probably the most basic attack there is, a single direct wrist grab. You have it on one side, we have it on the other. The defense is much the same. In one case we're advancing, in one case we're retreating. And that's kind of how Kenpo builds from scratch. The entire system works that way. So just with those two techniques side by side, you can see what we've done with several other techniques and built a whole system up with this idea of when you move forward, you can move backwards, pushing, pulling, up, down, left, right, all the different directions you go, inward, outward, and the motion that you can do, if it works, then how can that in a self-defense setting kind of, it builds these families of techniques that way. So this one now, they've done a right direct wrist grab. That's the attack that we're starting off with. We're coming underneath, we're pinning it, just like we did with gripping talon. This time we're stepping back with the right foot, pivoting to a reverse bow as you jerk their arm forward. And I'm, again, grabbing with that underhand, so the right hand will be like an extended outward grab onto their right wrist. So it's like a cross grab. So they've got your wrist, and now we've got them. And I'm on the outside. From here I'm going to pivot with an outward elbow underneath the arm to the ribs, because we're still holding that arm. They can't block that. It's exposed. And then from here, this is where the technique gets its name. One hand's coming up to kind of check, but I'm going to come off their arm, hitting their arm, knocking it down, and ricocheting, darting up to the eyes with a spear hand attack to the eyes. And that's the glancing spear motion. That's where it gets its name. So again, they've got your wrist. We step back, we're pulling and catching their arm, elbowing to the wrist, or to the ribs. We check, hit with your palm to their arm, and then spear hand up to the eyes, darting up. Now I'm going to come back. I'm in a forward bow, left side forward bow. I'm going to pivot back to neutral bow, and as I do, my left hand's going to come back and grab hold of their right wrist. Left hand's going to come up onto their left shoulder. I'm going to pull down on their shoulder, lift up a little bit on the wrist, right? Kind of tipping them back, and as we do that, we go into our cover out, our front cross step, and you want to, as you do the front cross step, we're deliberately kicking the back of their right foot. You want to hit with your left foot, knocking their foot in the direction the toes are pointing there. And this is how to do a sweep as you step. So as we exit, we're using this front cross, hit that foot, pull it out, and throw them down onto their back. And that's the first step of your full cover out. That's glancing spear. So the whole thing, they got your wrist, we pin, step back, grab, elbow to the ribs, spear hand to the eyes, come back, catch shoulder, catch the hand, pulling down, and we're sweeping the foot out as we full cover out. Remember the last technique we had in the 5th green curriculum here, the coming around, we're grabbing and ungrabbing, kind of passing the hand off. Now we're seeing that idea again. As the right hand has it, passes it to the left arm, and it comes back to get the wrist again as we sweep them down. So as per usual, the course is that the last technique is kind of giving you a little hint of things that you're going to see in the following level. And here we have that. We'll be passing one particular hold off to the other hand, or letting go to come back and catch it again later. So the whole technique now, right direct, wrist grab. They've got your left hand, we're pinning, stepping back, elbow, spear hand, sweep, and out. Full cover out. One more time, this is glancing spear.